Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the Cang-Toys Blacanidae. This is their take on a very stylized Insecticon, and I guess it's their take on the SHRAPNEL, and it looks interesting. It's definitely a different take on an Insecticon, and the one thing about Insecticons is that you can make stylized ones that would fit right in because of the sort of organic nature of the figures and the characters. And it does carry a lot of the Cang-Toys styling. Now, I'm going to leave a link down below where you can get this at Shozi Store. TH and the support your reviewer. This thing is $40 and it's a pretty good size. We'll talk about it, all the pluses, minuses, and more. Coming up. Here's the box, and as usual with Cang-Toys, great artwork. You kind of see a couple of different things on the side there and the back. Kind of boring on the back, and it's weird too because you do kind of slide it up, and you're able to leave the plastic on it like I did. Slide it up and open it like that. Here's right out of the box, and if you've ever had any of the Cang-Toys or handled them or looked at them, this has a lot of the styling. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you it's very lightweight for the size because there's no die cast in this one, and it seems to be a budget offering. Looks like they're trying to target a lower price point with a budget offering, but still have pretty much everything else they put into it. Like, it's not budget when it comes to design, and it's not budget in any other way other than just it feels like it's just lacking on the die cast, but everything else seems to be similar to what they do with their other figures. And maybe it is a little on the smaller side than what they did with their Dinobots, but you'd expect Insecticons to be smaller than Dinobots or the Predaking and all that kind of stuff. But it does look good. Does look good overall. I do believe that this is actually for bot mode these are supposed to be back like this to kind of thin them out. So just how it's shipped. It is how it's shipped. I'm not changing anything really. But there you go. Yeah, good looking figure overall. And as I said, Insecticons, insects, they're kind of got some realism to it. And then those are the legs, but it carries over to looking like he's got some spikes on the back of his legs, but those are the bug legs. And interesting with the transformation too, how they kind of tuck and hide away things. Let's get into looking at articulation. So as we do that, we can also look at paint apps. All right, looking at his head, and it's interesting too, there's quite a bit of paint right here, and the eyes, and then the forehead. It's kind of that same style they used with all their other stuff. They have this rear swooping kind of antenna kind of thing they've got going on. They do that on most of theirs. Sharp points, do a lot of sharp points with their designs, which is fine. But it does look down a little bit, looks up a little bit, and the rest is all in the ball joint. You can have a 360 in the arm. I don't want to say it's very loose, but it moves very smooth and fluid. And then the shoulders go out. You are going to be hit a little bit by that bug leg that's going to be in there. And then bicep swivel at the shoulder point. And then it does have a double joint for the elbow, but a little bit of the rest of the shoulder and stuff's going to get in the way. It's like that sword is getting in the way. And then hands to turn a little bit and open on just kind of like they like to say typewriter fingers opening for the hands. And it holds this, so it's one of those things where I believe this just slides in, the thumb holds it in place. And that's fine with me. Fine by me with that. Then waist swivel, no ab crunch that I'm feeling. I'm not feeling it in an ab crunch. And then we can move up these hip skirts and move up the giant skirt there. Go past the 90. Not the 90 to the back unless you cheat it. I guess you could cheat it to the side. And then it goes out on a very, very tight, but not ratchet. It's just a tight joint. And this joint's going to be used a lot for the transformation. A lot of flipping. You can do a lot of flipping around with the transformation. Double joint on the knee. Yep, it just basically fully closes that up. So like something like this you can get, which is fine. And then let's see, thigh swivel is fine. And then the foot, everything you need, because this thing will do anything because of the transformation. Or is it because of the transformation, or they just wanted to engineer in that level of articulation? Well, they didn't put an afterwrench in. Turns out I lied all about talking about the paint and the articulation at the same time, because they have all these little interesting paint details. They've always done this. And in fact, I'm surprised I don't see writing, because they usually have some sort of writing on there too, like really microscopic words and numbers and stuff written out, phrases. There's some accents here, and they just do all of that. And like, as in, this is silver, but then there's some paint accents here. Here we go. There's something written down there. See if we can see that in editing. What is written right there? Are we getting it? Are we getting it? Okay, anyway. But this is painted. This strip's painted. That strip's painted. That's painted. This is painted. Paint right here. Accent right here. Gold tips. Some more stuff on the side of the foot. So quite a bit of paint apps pretty much all over it, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. And I mean, I don't know if it makes it more insect-like. It actually makes it more like it's man-made. Like when they have those kind of accents painted on, it does feel a little more like a man-made machine to emulate being a bug. All right, now for some comparisons here, I believe that, well, I know for a fact this is Bad Cubes, and this one is Fans Toys. So with that, I still think Fans Toys is the best, and Bad Cube is still good, but this one here I believe is MMC. I think I just gotta go look it up, but I believe it's MMC for this one here. So size-wise, you can see towers over all the other ones. I don't even know how to get them all in the same shot. All right, that gets them all in the same shot, so you can kind of see. So MMC, Bad Cube, and Fans Toys, and this is going for something completely different for the same character. Is it the same character? Similar character. But let's bring in the rest of the Insecticons and see how that looks. Next up we have Kickback. You know, these guys are all on the take, right? They get kickbacks. Alright, again, MMC, I believe. And then I know that for sure that's Bad Cube, for sure. Fans Toys Forager is the one that thorn in everyone's side to get for some reason. The rest seem to be a little easier. Forager is always the one that's tough, no matter reissued or not. I don't know why. Then that's compared to Fans Toys Bombshell. My other Bombshells are in alt mode for whatever reason. I don't know why I left them in alt mode. But there we go, if you want to get a look at what these guys look like. And I do want to say that I wanted to bring these out. So the difference between him and him is $100 worth of paint. Yes, silver paint costs $100 for Fans Toys. Remember that. And is it possible to be any more clickbaity than this? I'm about to do some shaky cam so you can kind of see a different angle of all these Insecticons. It's just, that's how he looks with all the different companies that have made Insecticons that I've acquired. I think I got them all, though. Now for the transformation, we need to pull this stuff here kind of out of the way. We're going to flip the waist, and then we are going to start working on all of this fun stuff. We're going to pull this leg out, get it out of the way. We're going to do a series of rotations to get the... It needs to be up higher. There it goes. That's the correct series of rotation that I needed. There it is. All right, next we want to flip this around and tuck it around behind it, get rid of all that. And then we are going to lift this up, fold this over, flip the foot around, and then this is all going to come up into this cavity. And then the foot is going to fold all the way around like so. And then we'll do the same fun stuff we did on the other side. That's lots of fun. Okay, so flip this up, fold this over, flip it around, fold this in on itself, using both of the joints for the double joint. Oh, so this is annoying. Make sure that this is cleared, and then we go back to where we were here. So that can go up. Oh, sorry. That can go up. And then this can go down like so. And then we're going to take the remainder of it. We're going to go from this side, and we are going to connect it. It's all got to connect right here. Connects right here with this little joint, little connection point there, and then this is going to come down and tab in to here and tab into here. And then these legs kind of flip around, but we will straighten up all these legs at the end of it to match how they're supposed to look at the end of the day. Now for the upper body, we need to pull this back, and we can tuck the head in, and then that can just go back. Then we can fold this back out how we saw it, how the way it was shipped. And then we're going to do some more work up here, some good fun stuff. Now this is interesting too. We are going to pull this out and then fold the hands in. I think we need to fold them in like so. I'm not actually 100% sure if that even matters. We're going to fold this down here, and then we're going to bring out more of these. Now with this one, it's on a slider. This leg's on a slider. It's a nice little tight slider. Then this is going to fold down, and then this folds up into here like so. And we got feet and legs in the way here, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So fold this leg out, flip the hand in, and I'm not really sure if it matters if it's one way or the other. It just gets the job done. And like I said, we're going to be repositioning these legs later to make it make sense. We're going to pull this leg out, fold this slider up. It's a tight slider. That's going to fold down. This folds down. And then we got to get the arm in like so. Now these legs need to be kind of twisted around, so we have to kind of flip those around, which probably could have been a little easier earlier on if I'd have done it a little earlier on. Here on the back side, we've already gotten those put into place, and I believe it was supposed to be flipped around the other way originally. Well, we got a couple of spots, so if it's flipped around like this, I know I've done a little bit of flipping, probably didn't point it out, but this comes back here and we'll tab into, there's a tab that goes into this hole here, and then over here on these, there's a tab, and then it goes into a slot right there. And so there's that, which is hard to do with the camera in my way. So I'll do that off camera real quick. Then before we go any further, let's just kind of get all these legs sort of positioned how they're supposed to position, something along those lines. So this one here needs to get flipped around, so you have all the spiky parts need to be to the top of it. And for whatever reason, the back part, is it the thorax, whatever, it's coming undone. And then we have to apply the guns to the bottom here. So we're going to transform each gun. It's the typical fold the handle and then it transforms. It's simple stuff, and I don't think it matters which one's on which side. And then they're going to plug into these tabs here. I'm doing it upside down because it just seems easier to film that way. And then here we go. Is it on there good enough? And then there we go. We're pretty much done with this guy. And I'm going to look at it a little bit more, see what more, if I miss something, and then I'll be back. Alright, so here he is in his alt mode, and I'm always curious, whenever I have any of these bugs, am I able to make it to where it can stand on its own feet, not lay on its stomach and the legs just dangle there? And part of what I'm starting to think here, part of the reason that they probably made it so lightweight was so that it could do this. But, I mean, it doesn't really show it to do this so much. But I like that you can do that with it. So it's pretty good. So it's pretty solid. The other thing I kind of like is, I didn't think I liked it at first, was using the swords as his mandibles. But because they transform, you can move these little mandible pieces. He's got like little teeth in there that move. So that makes those adjustable. And they're a different color. They're gold instead of the whole thing. That is kind of cool. There's like, most of it is like a charcoal. Then there's some silver accents. But then this works to like a little biting piece. So that's kind of cool too. And then it's got big eyes. They're just staring at you, longing to eat your grass, I guess, or energon. Man, I did put all my energon in another room. This would have been a great day to have some energon out and about lurking. All right, so let's lay it flat like you see in most of the pictures, which I don't like. To me, that's not what this figure should be doing. It shouldn't be laying on its stomach, propelling itself along. But maybe the real insect, that's how it does it, you know. But you know, it is what it is. But can we? Yeah, we can kind of open those because they're on just a peg. They can slide open. Yeah, that works too. And it looks pretty good overall. It's sort of a different color. It does still maintain that purple color scheme of the standard ones. Doesn't feel like a deluxe though. It doesn't feel like they're trying to do a deluxe. They're trying to do the standard ones in their own stylization, the way Cang-Toys always does. And it works. It works okay. It's kind of nice to have. Kind of nice to have another bug. You can never have too many bugs. And I don't have very many in Albo to compare to. So let's just go ahead and get on with the comparisons and get on getting on. In hindsight, I probably should have grabbed the G1 one also, but I mean, just masterpiece. These are not the same character, but this bombshell. Think this one is the Bad Cube and this one is the MMC. And I had him in bot mode, and I, for some reason, just did not have this little piece on him. When I had him displayed in bot mode, probably fit on the shelf better, whatever, but anyhow, that's just kind of a size comparison to what's going on. And he is significantly larger in both bot mode and in the bug mode than, you know, even with Fan-Toys. And Fan-Toys is comparably sizable in the alt mode of these. And I haven't really played with these Insecticons around much since Fan-Toys did the reissues, and I reviewed all of the reissues. But kind of fun to have a new Insecticon. Really excited to maybe one day get the deluxe Insecticons. But for $40, what you get out of this, not bad. Almost as big as a Masterpiece Prime. Not really sure the best way to get angles on this here, but, you know, do you want to see Prime in the back? So, I mean, this, I don't know if you really can count that. In a way you can, in a way you can't. So, mass-wise, just, it kind of feels like it takes up about as much space as Prime. It takes up more because there's all the legs everywhere. So this is my look at the Cang-Toys Blacanidae, and it's their take on a SHRAPNEL figure Insecticon. Very stylized. Lots of style going on with this guy here, and I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty good. I was a little on the fence at first, but you know, the size, it's a good size figure for $40. It operates relatively well. The transformation, it's just a little odd when for me personally, when I'm transforming an organic being and all of that, but I'm looking forward to when they do a kickback, because that's kind of my favorite Insecticon aside from the deluxe Insecticons. I do like the kickback the most, and really excited to see what they do with that, because that'd probably be a whole lot of fun, probably even more fun than this guy. But I like this guy. I'm going to get all of them now. For the price, for what you get, definitely worthwhile, and definitely a whole lot of fun. Cang-Toys is doing a pretty good job, and one of the things where I think stylized really does work. You know, I got this Shozy store. You can get yours there too. Remember, TH is the support reviewer code if you want to help the channel. Take care, hang out.